You ever get that feeling you're being guided? That your choices aren't 100% your own? Well, we're about to pull back the curtain on the invisible forces that are shaping your decisions every single day. And this isn't just about the ads you see. It's about the ones you don't even notice and how they work on a level you might not even be aware of.
Think about this number for a second. 10,000. That is the estimated number of ads you're exposed to every single day. From the second you wake up and grab your phone to the logos you walk past on the street. Now, you won't remember most of them. Heck, you won't even consciously see them, and yet they all have an effect.
And right there, that's the really unsettling truth of it all. The real magic, or, maybe manipulation is a better word, it happens just below the surface of your awareness. It gets to work in that quiet space where decisions are made before you've even had a chance to think about them logically. And this isn't some accident. It's a system. It's an engineered process.
So, how is this system actually built? Well, modern advertising has gone way beyond just clever slogans and catchy jingles. At its very core, it's a science of predictability, specifically your predictability. It's all about turning human behavior into data that can be measured, tracked, and ultimately optimized.
This gets at a key vulnerability we all share, something called post-rationalization. Here's how it works. You feel an urge, right? An attraction to something. And then, after the feeling, your conscious brain kicks into high gear to build a perfectly logical case for why that feeling makes total sense. Our brains just crave that internal consistency.
And here's the crazy twist. You'd think that really smart, logical people would be immune to this, wouldn't you? But actually, research suggests the exact opposite can be true. Being intelligent doesn't always lead to better decisions. Sometimes it just leads to more creative, more sophisticated justifications for the decisions your subconscious already made for you.
So if our brains are wired this way, how exactly is that wiring being exploited? Okay, let's break down the classic playbook. These are the 6 fundamental tactics used to basically open the back door to your decision-making process. First up is anchoring. You've seen this a million times. You see a price tag that screams, was $10,000, now only $3,999. Your brain doesn't just evaluate the new price on its own. Nope, it evaluates it relative to that first number it saw. That 10,000 rupee anchor makes the new price feel like an incredible bargain, even if the original price was completely made up.
Next up, scarcity. This one taps into a really powerful bias we all have called loss aversion. To put it simply, losing 100 rupees just hurts more than gaining 100 rupees feels good. It's true. So when an ad flashes limited time offer or only 3 left in stock, it completely changes the question in your head. It's no longer, do I really want this? It becomes, what if I miss out on this forever? And trust me, fear is way faster than logic.
Let's be honest. We almost never buy just a thing. We buy what that thing says about us. And brands know this inside and out. They aren't selling you a watch. They're selling you success. They're not selling you a phone. They're selling you innovation, status. And once a brand becomes part of how you see yourself, choosing a competitor can feel like you're betraying a little piece of your own identity. We're social creatures. It's baked into our DNA. When we're not sure what to do, what's our first instinct? We look around to see what everyone else is doing. That's social proof. But online, this instinct is so easy to hijack. 10,000 people bought this. Fake 5-star reviews. Bought followers. It all sends the same message to your brain. This is the safe choice, even when it's not.
You know why free trials are so incredibly effective? It's because of something called the endowment effect. The second you start using a service, a little part of your brain starts to feel like it's already yours. You start imagining ownership, and the thought of losing it actually becomes painful. Even something as simple as adding an item to a virtual shopping cart can trigger this, making it that much harder to click away.
Okay, at the end of the day, this might be the most important tactic of all. Brain imaging studies have shown that how you feel about a brand is a much, much better predictor of your behavior than what you actually know about its products. Ads don't need you to remember the specs. They just need to build a connection, an association with happiness or freedom or desire, so that when you see their logo, all that logic just goes out the window.
So those 6 tactics, that's the foundation. But technology has given advertisers a whole new arsenal, a set of tools that are faster, way more personal, and more powerful than anything that's come before.
And this right here is the fundamental shift. It's the whole game. A billboard on the highway, that targets everybody who drives by it. A digital ad, that targets you and only you. Based on your clicks, your searches, what you linger on, what you ignore, an algorithmic profile of you is built to predict what you're most likely to respond to right now in this exact mood.
You know how this goes. You look at a pair of shoes online just one time. And then for the next week, you see those exact same shoes in every app, on every single website you visit. That's retargeting. And it works because of a weird quirk in our brains called the mere exposure effect. The more we see something, the more familiar and safe it feels. And slowly, quietly, that comfort turns into a preference.
Oh, the decoy effect is an absolute masterclass in shaping your choices. See, you're not just being presented with options. You're being presented with a structure that's designed to push you toward one specific outcome. By putting in a third, kind of crummy option, advertisers can make their preferred choice look like an absolute no-brainer. Here's a perfect example. Look at this. The basic plan? It seems a little limited. The premium plan at $1,099 feels a bit pricey. But then, look at that pro option in the middle for $999. All of a sudden, for just 100 rupees more, you can get the premium plan with support. See? The pro plan isn't really there for you to choose it. It's just there to make the premium plan look like a fantastic deal. That's the decoy. So what does all this mean? Well, these tactics don't actually remove your choice. They architect it. They shape how the options appear to you, how urgent something feels, and how your brain perceives value. The decision is still technically yours, but it's a guided decision, made inside a frame that was very carefully built for you.
Now I know, hearing all this can feel a little overwhelming, but the point isn't to be cynical about everything, it's to be aware. Because once you can see the code behind the curtain, you can actually move from being a passive reactor to an active chooser.
So what can you actually do? It boils down to 4 simple things. First, delay. That emotional urge is strongest in the moment. Give it 24 hours. Let logic catch up. Second, change your environment. Less exposure means less subconscious influence. Simple as that. Third, question the framing. Don't just ask yourself, do I want this? Ask, how is this being sold to me? And finally, fourth, separate the feeling from the action. You can acknowledge an urge, wow, I really want that, but just remember you don't actually have to act on it.
And it is so important to remember this. This is not a personal failing. It's not about you being weak or gullible, not at all. These systems work because they are built on the predictable, efficient shortcuts our brains use to get through the world every day. They work because you're human.
Look, let's be realistic. You're not going to escape this system. It is woven into the very fabric of our digital lives. But you don't have to. The real power here doesn't come from escaping. It comes from awareness. The goal is just to see the mechanism when it's at play.
Because once you can see it, you can create a tiny moment of hesitation, a little gap between the ad you see and your response to it. And in that small space, in that one little pause, lies the entire difference between a subconscious reaction and a conscious choice.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question. The next time you feel that pull to buy something, to click, to subscribe, just take a breath, pause, and ask yourself, who is really making this decision?